What is up, everyone? Welcome to another live reaction video from your crew here at One and Done. I'm your boy, Mike Holland, at MC Holland34 over on Twitter, here to give my thoughts on Arizona's bounce back win 75-62 over BYU. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons. We're sitting around 1768 in subs, so we'd love all the support out there. Any new subscribers, make sure you get the notification bell. We do a lot of content, been doing a lot of live reactions. We do Mountain West streams. We do all kinds of off-season content. We got DFS stuff if you like gambling. So we got a lot of stuff coming to you as we round out the end of the season here. Shout out to Nate C. Hustle for producing tonight. Eric the Blue for getting everything set up, and my guy, the conductor, Jay Heinrich, who is getting a much-deserved night off, but he will be back with me later on this week. So let's dive right into it. Arizona coming off of losses to Kansas and Houston. I thought tonight Jaden Bradley was fantastic, really set the tone. He had struggled recently, but really aggressive tonight. So I really liked how he came out and just, he didn't really force anything. He was 5 for 11 from the field. He had 10 assists, like just kind of played within himself. You love to see that. That just raises their floor, really. And then as he kind of goes as the driver of the bus here, that really is going to tap into their ceiling. So I thought he played an awesome game. Ivan Karchinkov, man, that guy just hustles. He makes clutch shots. He was really great tonight. Big news story, obviously, in this game tonight was that we had 2 star players down for Arizona. Obviously, Koa Pete not around, dealing with the lower body injury, going to be out for at least the next couple of games. So I thought Karchinkov stepped up pretty well. Krivas and Awaka, the big boys down low, didn't really need to do much tonight. They were a force on the glass. They did make things somewhat tough on the others outside of AJ DeBonsa on the other side. I think they kind of just settled into their role. I think the one thing that I find interesting about Arizona, they don't take a lot of threes. They're basically bottom 5 in the country in three-point attempts on the season, even though they're shooting just over 35% from three. So what you saw tonight was a lot of ball movement, which you really like, and they shot 43% from three. So with Bradley just kind of able to get into the lane, get guys set up, able to knock down a lot of threes. Barry's, even though he was just, 3 for 7 from the 3-point line, I thought he was pretty clutch, even though he only shot 4 for 13 from the field. Couldn't get much else going. But him and Del Orso are just really, really stretching the floor, just kind of opening up that floor for Bradley to operate. So I really like what I've seen from this Arizona team. Been saying it all along. For me, it's basically Arizona and Michigan as the top 2 teams. That's my mind's not really going to change on that as we go forward. They just have so many weapons and so many different ways and styles that they can play. But when you look at it, we just talked about it. Arizona on this crazy, crazy stretch run here. They just got done losing to Kansas and Texas Tech in overtime. They win tonight. Now they're going to Houston this Saturday. So just a ridiculous matchup. Then they go to Baylor, which, Baylor hasn't had, the Scott Drew Baylor season, but it's still Baylor. You got to go there on the road. You come back home to Kansas and Iowa State, which Kansas obviously, Darren Peterson checked out after a couple of minutes in the second half. So we'll see. But Iowa State obviously fighting for a 2, even a 1 seed. That's still on the docket for them, especially if they can beat in Arizona. And then they do finish on the road at Colorado, which isn't the toughest game, but it's going to be a senior day on the road in elevation. So this stretch that Arizona is going on is really, really tough. So, they got this win. BYU clearly missing Richie Saunders tonight. I thought defensively, Arizona pretty solid. BYU made that run down the stretch there, playing real aggressive on the defensive end, forcing some turnovers. It was kind of the AJ DeBonsa show, which I understand that. He was 13 of 28 from the floor, 35 points. Just no one could really stop him. The problem is that you don't really get guys involved in the offense. The flow is kind of off. You don't really get that defensive energy when guys aren't getting touches on the offensive end. And with Saunders, it's like, okay, we'll let DeBonsa score 35, 40 points as long as we hold everyone else down. And that's kind of what happened because Rob Wright, who obviously is a second or third go-to option when Saunders is in, he has to be that number 2, and he just wasn't really getting to where he wanted tonight, 5 of 13 from the field. I thought Kennard Davis, I know he had battled some foul trouble in the first half, which kind of took some of the sting out. I thought he would maybe see a bit of a different role, but really BYU was just trying to jam it into DeBonsa on every single possession, play iso ball. When that didn't work, it was kind of like Wright was just trying to do his thing. And Kennard Davis, for Southern Illinois last year, he was a 25% usage player. He's a guy that's capable of scoring. He can do a couple of things that's a lot of these other guys like Boscovich, Kostick, those guys just can't do, which is put it on the floor and really create and make some things happen. I thought he was really good in the second half, but it was just a little bit too late. I mean, he had 10 points, 2 boards, and an assist in the second half, 5 for 5 from the free throw line. Just really aggressive. I think we need to see more of that from him. Obviously, saddled by fouls in this one. So it's just going to be tough for BYU going forward. I mean, you have 7 assists on 25 made field goals. That is sub 33%, and that's not going to win you a lot of games against quality teams. You can do that against, teams outside the top 40 and still get away with the wins, but playing top 25-ish type teams, especially in the top 10, you're just not going to come out with a lot of victories when you don't have an assist rate. That just means you're playing a ton of ISO ball. So AJ DeBonsa, I'm probably drafting him number 1 over Darren Peterson. The reason why is because he's just so special when you put him with space, and he doesn't really have space to operate. They shot 26% from 3, and he still shot 50% from the field himself. No, everyone in the court, everyone in the crowd, everyone around the world watching the game knows that he is going to get the ball ISO'd, and he's going to go try and make a play, and he's still able to convert. So just imagine him in the NBA in about 5 years when he's got actual floor spacing around him. He's going to be an absolute monster. Plus, he can make some plays. He had 2 of the 7 assists. I thought he could add a few more if guys knock down shots. So, yeah, he just has to be – he already had to be Superman for them to be successful. He's got to be, Superman plus Batman. He's got to try and get Rob Wright to go with him. So, yeah, it's going to be tough for BYU. Obviously, they're coming down the stretch here, limping, 7-6 in Big 12 play. They've lost 6 of their last 9. Now they get Iowa State at home, UCF after that, and then they got a couple of tough road trips. You have West Virginia and Cincinnati, who are, firmly off the bubble, trying to play their way into the tournament. So finishing up with Tech, who just lost Toppin. It's still Tech. They still have some good players, so it's gonna be a bumpy ride. They're still gonna get into the tournament just based on what they've done all season: wins over Villanova, Wisconsin, Miami, Clemson, TCU, but they don't have any marquee wins really in the Big 12. So really holding it down for that non-con schedule when they had everyone healthy, obviously. But losses already to Tech, Arizona, Kansas, Houston, Arizona. It's just rough for them as far as Big 12 quality wins are concerned. So. We'll see. We'll see what they do. Obviously, in a one-game scenario, if you have AJ DeBonsa, if you're on the other side, it's probably pretty scary. But there are kind of ways like let him get 40 or 45 and just shut down everyone else. And that's probably what a lot of teams are going to be doing going forward. So, all right. Well, that'll wrap up another one and done live reaction as the Wildcats claim a huge win at home over BYU, 75-62. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons for us. We got all kinds of content. We'll be back Friday for some DFS action, trying to win some money for Saturday's main slate. But outside of that, guys, my name is Mike Holland, and we'll see you on the next one.